Hey everybody, welcome to Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page. On this episode, raised all over the world and trained at the Culinary Institute of America, she came to New Orleans and worked her way up to sous chef at the legendary Commander's Palace. Now she's running a New Orleans kitchen of her own as executive chef at Copper Vine, a restaurant where you can also book a room to spend the night. Here's Amy Mehrtens. Chef, how you doing? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
How are things in New Orleans?
Hot.
But the food's good?
Food is beautiful.
What's it like living in such a great food town?
It feels like you don't have enough time to go eat everything.
Where do you gravitate when you do have the time? What New Orleans food is your favorite?
I'm always trying to find the little hole in the walls, something new every time. I try not to go back to the same places, even though I want to support them, but I want to try everything.
Yeah, I was extolling the po' boys at Mother's, and a New Orleanian said to me, "Oh, that's just for tourists."
Yeah. I've never been there.
Okay, he was right. I think it's good. So listen, you're not a native of New Orleans. How long have you lived there?
I've been here for about 11 years, so it's my home now.
Where'd you grow up?
My family was military, so we moved every 2 years.
Which branch?
Army.
So take me through it.
I guess we should start in Germany. I was born off the Rhine, and I lived there for about 2 years. Then we went to California, Georgia, back to California, Japan, Virginia, back to Japan, Iowa, back to Virginia. I went up to New York and studied up there, and now I'm in New Orleans.
Along the way, at some point, presumably, you reached an age where at least you can remember what the food experiences were. Did all of this travel have a culinary impact on you?
Oh, yeah. I was one of 4 children. I was the only one that would try everything wherever we went. So I was like the experiment child.
Of the places you mentioned, presumably the most exotic cuisine to an American military kid was Japan.
Absolutely.
What did you experience there? Did you like it? Did it help shape your culinary future in any way?
It shaped my comfort foods and what I like to eat when I'm tired or I need like a recovery day.
Well, what are the foods?
One of the number one things was congee.
That's a kind of a rice porridge?
Yeah, with some ginger and braised chicken. It's very simple.
In your household, to your mom or dad, was food important? Was cooking important?
My mom was a chef and my dad was a very good cook. Yes. And so the center of our household was the kitchen. My mom did most of the cooking, I would say. And then my dad would sort of come up with the ideas of like whatever event he wanted to put on at the house. And they would work it as a team.
Well, how did she pursue a chef's career moving every few years at the whim of the military? Like when you were in Germany, was she working as a chef?
No, during those years, she was an English teacher. And so every time we were abroad, she wasn't cooking as a chef, but every time we were in the US, she was a chef. So it kind of went back and forth.
So what kind of foods were your parents making around the house?
My dad was from Southern California, so he would always be making Mexican cuisine. So fresh tortillas and picadillo and norteña. And then my mom was from upstate New York. So she would always be cooking these like roasted chicken rice dishes with like nice little carrots and the potatoes and mushrooms.
And at what point did you develop the kind of interest that lets you say, you know, when I grow up, maybe I'll do this for a living?
Oh, I think it started when I was like 4 or 5. And they were like, absolutely not. Don't you dare. It's too much work. We want you to go be a doctor or something else.
Did you want to participate in the kitchen? Were you helping mom and dad at the stove, at the cutting board?
I think it was mandatory participation. I'm not sure if it was a choice. It was just, hey, we're prepping this today. This is what we got to do. Here, peel carrots. You know, you're a part of this now.
But at some point you said to yourself, I'm going to pursue this. Did the light go off? Where were you? When did you make this decision? Why did you make this decision?
I was probably 16 and I was looking at college applications and thinking about what I actually wanted to do. And it's still the only thing that I ever wanted to do. I pursued a traditional education for my parents for a short period of time. And then I kind of was just like, no, this isn't what I want. And I sent myself to culinary school 3 weeks later.
Really? And did you drop out of college to do that?
Yeah.
You were trying to avoid that question for the benefit of your mother, I guess.
She knows.
So where'd you go?
I went to Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, and it was a magical experience.
In what way?
I got to meet a lot of people I would not have met. I got to make a lot of relationships that would not have happened. And I got to meet people from all over the world. I got a great education. I learned discipline.
Explain that.
In order to be in the hospitality industry, you really have to have a sense of discipline in order to be successful. You have to have sharp knives. You have to have your nails clean. You have to make sure that you're on time. You have to be under pressure. You have to be able to control your emotions and manage yourself before you can manage anybody else.
Was that not you until culinary school?
To a certain extent. The military family helped a little bit.
In terms of the cooking, what did culinary school give? Yes, there's technical skills, there's chopping, etc. But what was the big takeaway for you in your development as a chef?
It was all about people. You can't have the hospitality industry without the people, front of the house, back of the house, the guest. It's all about community. There's that. And then you have to have a story. It's not just about the food. You have to have a story behind it and a reason why you do certain things.
Was there an overriding reason or story behind your cooking over time? I mean, so many people who are in hospitality are people pleasers. They want to make other people happy.
Sure.
Is that you?
Yes, but I also love building teams. I like building an internal community as well as feeding people.
Well, the restaurant world, certainly in the recent past, has been called out for not necessarily being terribly kind to the people on the teams.
I've worked for those people.
Well, what was it like?
It made me mad, but it also made me want to take their job.
And did you at some point?
I did eventually.
There's various levels to the abuse. Was it just because chefs treat everyone that way, or was there added difficulty because you are a woman in what remains a male-dominated industry?
Oh, I would say there's a little bit of both. I think it was just the standard way of treating people. Everybody was treated poorly, but also I've been in that male-dominated kitchen where I was the only woman, and you really do have to put your foot down and create boundaries and let them know what's okay and what's not okay.
I assume it's gotten better, but not better enough.
In my kitchen, it has gotten much better.
Well, how much of your staff is female?
Oh, I'd have to look at it. I don't actually know, but it's at least half.
Does that make your kitchen still a rarity? Is this still a career that women are less eager to enter than men, possibly because of conditions?
I know a lot of female chefs. I'm not sure if that's true anymore. I know a lot of women who are in this role. They have similar stories to me, but the younger generations don't seem to.
Okay, so that's a step forward.
Which is great.
And we'll be right back. Let's talk about how you got to where you are, that you run a kitchen and you hire people. You left CIA with your degree. Where'd you go? What'd you do?
I traveled for a while and I wanted to stage in a bunch of different kitchens.
So where'd you do that?
New York, really, mostly. New York City.
Where in New York?
Myalino, Gramercy Tavern. This is still long ago. Hold on.
Well, staging is unpaid labor. I'm not sure it's even legal anymore.
Yeah, we pay our stages now. I'm not sure if they get away with it anymore anywhere else.
You'd been in culinary school, but so many chefs have told me, well, there's culinary school and then there's the real world.
True.
Where so much of your education takes place.
Mm-hmm.
So you left culinary school. Now what was the education?
I feel like I learned speed and being exact while you're moving fast because it was required. It was necessary in order to be successful. But I had also worked in kitchens while I was in school before culinary school. So I knew what the expectations were as well.
So you staged in New York for a while, then what?
Then I was staying with my family in Virginia and I worked at a little Italian restaurant for a little while. And then I came down to New Orleans.
You just woke up one day and said, I'm going to move to New Orleans?
Yeah, I packed everything in my car and drove down here and I didn't have a job or a place to live.
Was it because of the food or you like jazz music or you're into oysters or what?
I had it in my head from culinary school that New Orleans cuisine, I just had more love and soul and I wanted to understand the food.
Had you eaten in New Orleans previously?
Not even once.
You'd never been there. You thought it was a certain thing.
Right.
So you got in your car and you moved there.
Correct.
Was it what you thought it was?
I would say yes.
You get to New Orleans. Where do you go eat? Now, you don't have a job.
Correct.
So you don't have a whole lot of cash to burn, I'm guessing.
I was very poor, yes.
Where'd you eat?
I ate at the hostel and nowhere else because the breakfast, I think, was like $4 or something like that. But then I went and staged at a couple of places.
Ah, okay. Well, you can get at least a family meal out of a stage.
Right. Right.
Where did you stage in New Orleans?
Oh, I went to Cochon and Cochon Butcher, and then I went to Dominica and Commander's Palace. I want to say there were a few other ones, but I don't remember. But Commander's Palace had offered me a position.
But wait a second. I thought you were working banquets before this. I have your bio here, and I'll quote. After pursuing a formal degree at the Culinary Institute of America, Amy dove into the world of large-scale banquets at the Beekman Arms and Del Mar Inn in Rhinebeck, New York, and the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. You forgot that part?
I did do that, but those were during culinary school.
What about the Biltmore Estate in North Carolina?
I did stop there for 6 months.
Did you like the banqueting side of the biz?
I thought it was great. It was higher volume than what I was used to. And obviously there was a lot more planning because you know that things are coming ahead of time. It's just a different flow.
But clearly you aren't signing on to this for the long term. You stopped in Asheville and then you looked up and said, what the hell, I'm going to New Orleans.
Yes.
So let's get back to New Orleans. You stage at Commander's Palace, a legendary restaurant. What did that add to your culinary education?
Oh, they gave me so much information, so much knowledge. There were people, sous chefs that have worked there for 20 years. They worked with all the legendary executive chefs, Jamie Shannon, Emerald, and then Chef Tori McPhail. And now it's Chef Meg Bigford. And she was my mentor when I was there before she was the executive chef.
Tell me about that.
Meg?
Yeah. And her as your mentor.
She was hard as nails. She didn't let you get away with anything. She knew what you were capable of and forced you to like better than you thought you could be. She's a real force.
You actually, beyond staging, you got a job there, right?
Correct.
And progressed in that job. You worked your way up. What did you end up as there? Sous chef?
I ended as a sous chef there. I was pantry cook. I was their salad cook.
Well, that's the lowest entry level. Traditionally, in a sexist way, women got that job.
Right.
How'd you work your way out of that into the hotline and up to the position you ended up in?
I worked hard. I kept my head down, made sure that the station was successful, service was successful.
Well, one day someone came to you, and this is Commander's Palace, for God's sake. You're making salads. And one day someone comes to you and says, let's try you on the line. How does that happen? What happened?
I think it was more so-and-so quit. You got to go over there now. It was very quick. It was like, get over there. They really promoted at the time learning the station that you want to be on next before they put you over there or before they train you over there. So there's just like a higher level of awareness in order for you to move forward.
How would you define? I mean, everyone knows Commander's Palace. I'm not sure everyone can tell you what's on the menu. How do you define the cuisine there? What were you cooking?
Well, there were some dishes that were on there for 20 years. There was the pecan fish. There was the commander's salad.
Okay, what's the pecan fish? What's the commander's salad? Tell me about it.
The pecan fish, which actually I think they've changed since, was seasoned flour with ground up pecans, red fish or a drum. They dipped it into like an egg wash and then layered it on one side. And then there was cream corn, and then it's just the two fish stacked on top, jumbo lump crab meat, and then something they called frill or oh no, I don't remember. It was so long ago. It was a garnish. It was like spiraled beets and carrots and parsley and fresh herbs and radishes.
Is this its own cuisine? Is it Cajun or Creole? Is it Italian influence? Is it French influence? What's the culinary soul of that menu?
I would argue that all of those things are a part of their menu just because in New Orleans, it's an influence of all the places or all of those things. I would say it's more Creole refined.
And how do you define Creole? I mean, because to the non-New Orleans civilian food lover, the difference in Creole and Cajun has always been confusing.
So Cajun is more country cuisine. Creole is more city cuisine, but all within the same area. Cajun cuisine is more brown sauces. You definitely still have your Holy Trinity.
Which is peppers, celery, and
onions, yeah. Holy Trinity. And roux and game, right? That's like Cajun food. And also whatever you have, because they're known for having less money historically.
So it's food of the poor.
Well, true, yes. It's also whatever seafood, so crawfish, crabs, anything that they can, basically. And then Creole's it is all of that, but Creole has tomato and cream. Those are the major differences.
Back in a moment. During your, how many years were you there?
At Commanders?
Yeah.
4.5.
You worked your way up to sous chef. Did you get to create anything? Is there anything that ended up on the menu that was yours?
It was very creative. They had a rotating tasting menu. The day-to-day dishes would fairly well stay the same. They had seasonal changes where it's like, okay, now it's time from butternut squash to the peas, spring's coming. But yeah, no, they had a rotating tasting menu. And there were many days where I would be in charge of doing 10 courses for this chef's table, or, oh no, we need to use this item from the farm. Let's get this on the tasting menu tonight.
Give me a couple examples. What'd you come up with?
One of my favorite things, which I didn't actually come up with, but one of my favorite things was a full tuna collar that one of the chefs, Jason, his name is Jason Wells, he showed me how to do it. But it was like this gigantic tuna collar. You could barely fit it in.
It's literally a hunk of tuna from up near the head, right?
Right, yeah. And it's, I don't know, 3 feet wide. It's like this gigantic circular piece of meat, basically. Just bringing that out in a roasting pan in front of this chef's table. And then we would pour brandy over it and light it on fire. It was just such a display item. And it was so good because if you've ever had it, it's almost like beef. It's like braised beef. It's so fatty and it melts in your mouth. It was delicious. And then we just serve it with like a simple little pineapple salad or something like that.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I want that. So why'd you leave?
I needed something new.
Did you want to be the boss?
No, I just didn't think that was a possibility.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Did you want to be a boss or the boss somewhere? Did you want to run your own kitchen?
I think at the time I was just feeling burnt out. The grind had kind of gotten to me. I wasn't taking care of myself as well as I should. I needed to go and do something that was mine. So I turned to being a personal chef. And I was a personal chef while working at Commanders about at the same time. And then I just transitioned.
Who would hire you? It wasn't tourists, right?
No, I was doing pop-ups for a while. And then I would do catering orders and stuff like that for like art galleries and stuff like that.
Were you developing your culinary voice in this period?
I was being more creative. I wanted to have other cuisines sort of in my repertoire. Whereas like before it was Commanders is very versatile, but you could be Creole with like a little South American influence or a little Caribbean influence or a little French or a little Italian. You couldn't get away from it though. It still had to fit with the brand.
So what kind of items were you creating now that you were on your own that fulfilled that need?
I did okonomiyaki.
Huh?
Okonomiyaki. It's a Japanese style cabbage pancake and it's a street food. And you do like layers of pancake, cabbage, noodles. It's definitely a drunk food as well.
Well, there's a lot to be said for drunk food in the world.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
I was serving pop-up Japanese street food off of Frenchman Street for a few months. It was fun.
How'd you get to Copper Vine?
One of my old sous chefs from Commanders called me. He called me and he was like, hey, I'm opening this new restaurant. I want you to be my sous chef. They showed me around. And at first, I was fairly hesitant.
Why?
I had never opened a restaurant before. I just didn't have that experience, so I didn't have the confidence. And it also wasn't necessarily the food I wanted to do. But a consistent paycheck was appealing.
Well, it was a wine pub. Is that a fair definition?
Yes.
So what kind of food was it?
Similar to what we have now. It's pub fare, elevated, New Orleans style food, and really anything that goes with wine kind of works. So it's very versatile. But at the time, they had cut some corners that I didn't really like. So I wasn't sure how long I was actually going to be here.
Well, you've been there how long now?
Maybe 6 years.
And you became executive chef.
Correct.
So obviously you've had some influence on not cutting corners. How did you transform the place?
It was during COVID. They offered me the executive chef position and I was still a personal chef on the side. So I had to like weigh my pros and cons for that. But basically I ended up taking the Copper Vine role and I was able to start making changes. But again, we didn't have a staff because it was COVID and everything was shut down. So I got to build back up from nothing, basically.
And what were your key culinary decisions? Where did you take the menu? What did you build on?
I wanted to make more things from scratch. And then I also changed our purveyors and where we were getting our proteins because ultimately that affects everything. And I changed the fact that we could get food direct from farms or from a purveyor that is direct from local farms. And so that's really where it started.
So how much of your product is local now?
Maybe 50%. You still need your dry storage suppliers as well.
Okay, but produce, local farmers?
Produce is local farm. Yeah.
What about proteins?
Most of them are smaller farms, not always local,
But smaller farms.
but much smaller. And we are starting partnerships with 2 new oyster farmers that is direct from farm.
Ah,
That actually happened this week.
well, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
Bounce me through the menu a little bit. I'll just pick some things at random. You're doing a seared duck breast and pickled blueberries. How'd you come up with pickled blueberries with duck?
I just like them.
Well, I don't think I've ever had a pickled blueberry. You pickle them?
Yeah, you just pickle them. You run into the issue of blueberries have a very short shelf life. And so a lot of the decisions you end up making as a chef, it's sort of like, oh, this is going bad consistently. I need to utilize it somewhere else. So I believe we had like a berry salad or something like that on the menu, and we kept throwing blueberries away. I was like, okay, well, we have to use it somewhere.
Blueberries are local?
Berries are local, depending on the part of the year.
Dumb question. How do you pickle a blueberry?
You get your pickling liquid. So you get your vinegar and your sugar, a little bit of water, pickling spices like star anise, allspice, bay leaves, crushed red pepper, cloves. You put those in there. You let it sit all together without blueberries in it. We're just making a pickling liquid. And then you strain out, or you would have a sachet of those spices. But you can strain out your spices because you don't want to mix your berries and your spices together. Nobody wants to chomp down on a whole clove. You wash your blueberries, you de-stem your blueberries, make sure there's no weird leaves, no mold, no weird stuff going on. Then you take your beautiful blueberries and you put them into that warm liquid. And then you just let them very slowly turn purple. And then as soon as they're purple, they're done.
How long does that take?
About 3 to 5 minutes.
That's it.
Yep. And then you just cool it all down. And so you still get a little burst when you bite into the blueberry.
So when I order the duck dish, how do you incorporate the blueberries into the seared duck? Is it a sauce?
It is next to the sliced duck. And then there is a sauce Robert that gets ladled on the other side. And then we do a French potato puree and crispy Brussels sprouts for a little bitterness.
You've got duck in a number of places on the menu. You're doing a smoked duck and andouille gumbo. What's the secret to gumbo?
Well, there's several. And it's highly controversial.
Okay,
Everybody has an opinion.
let's jump into the controversy.
Okay. The way that we make it, which I like to think is well researched. But again, I'm not from here, so somebody can get mad at me if they want. It's fine. So we take the duck. We make all of our chicken stock in-house. We use chicken feet. So we have to start with the stock.
Why do you use chicken feet?
For collagen, for that sticky icky. Like when you smack your lips and it kind of sticks together, you need the feet. So we make our chicken stock in-house. We roast our bones. We use a little tomato paste, mirepoix, let it go overnight. We make about 30 gallons at a time. And then once we have that chicken stock, we braise and smoke our duck legs in the chicken stock. And while those are braising, you're getting all your vegetables, your andouille. We use about 2 times the amount of vegetables. So onions, celery, bell peppers. We use red and green, jalapenos. You get all of those together and you want 2 times the amount of what you actually want in your soup. So it's very vegetable heavy. But what you do is you're going to take some of that duck fat that we have left over from rendering those duck breasts. We're going to take that duck fat. We're going to put it into a tilt skillet. You throw half those veggies in and you get them caramelized, like deep, dark brown.
In duck fat. Oh, I'm moving in. That's, yeah.
And then we grill our andouille just to get some like char on it. And then we dice that up. We throw that in. And then we have a dark roux working. So this is multiple parts.
And the roux is simply what? Butter and flour.
Duck fat.
Duck fat, of course.
And oil. Because too much duck fat, it gets to be a little bit too rich.
I don't see how you could ever have too much duck fat, but that's a personal opinion. Yeah. And is it a dark roux?
You have to make the dark roux. I timed it when I wrote the recipe. Every 8 minutes, you have to stir the roux and we roast it in the oven.
Wow.
You can't be making it on stovetop. Otherwise, you'll get inconsistent colors. You'll get the blackened edges on your roux. It's just kind of a nightmare. So we always roast the roux in the oven in a gigantic pot, actually. Then you stir it for 36 minutes total at 400 degrees, just in case anybody wants to know.
Yeah, everyone at home is running out to get some duck fat to make a roux.
So that's how brown it has to be.
Have we hit the controversial part yet?
Yes.
What's the controversial part?
Some people don't like duck in their gumbo. We also use a filet on the top later on.
Filet is that fibrous plant that adds texture, correct?
Right, right. But a lot of people will use only filet or only roux, and I use both.
Uh-huh.
So that's controversial. But yeah, so we add in our roux to our vegetables. And then as our duck legs are done and we have our braising liquid, we strain our braising liquid into that roux a little at a time so there's no lumps. And then you pick your duck meat off the bones, save your bones for the next chicken stock in the freezer, right? Don't waste. And then we have Worcestershire, hot sauce, all the seasonings, secret recipe. Yeah, and then you just kind of wait until it's delicious.
Is that a crowd pleaser?
It seems to be everybody that is local, that was born and raised here, that works here, was very happy when we changed to this gumbo. They're like, you did it. But the other controversial thing that we do is that we also serve it with potato salad.
Huh?
So we serve it with rice or potato salad. And the potato salad part, I would say, is more like Cajun country style gumbo, not so much city gumbo.
Is this a mayonnaise base? What kind of potato salad?
You cut gold potatoes. We make our pickles in-house, so we chop those up and put them in there. Red onions, real seasonings, little crab oil, and then we make a mustard remoulade.
Ooh, I'll be right down. You seem to have a way to take what's expected in New Orleans and twist it a little. Is that fair?
Some people would think so.
I'm looking at the menu. You have Louisiana crawfish beignets. Now, I think of a beignet as a powdered sugar breakfast and coffee item.
Yeah.
Where the heck did you come up with the idea of making beignets with crawfish?
Well, originally, I wanted to make crawfish hush puppies. And they were like, absolutely not.
Why?
Beignets sound better. Make it a beignet. And I was like, all right. So it wasn't all me. I was forced into it, sort of, voluntold. But yeah, so the crawfish filling is just a little cream cheese, a little Trinity, some roasted crawfish, herbs, seasoning, shredded cheddar. And then the batter's similar to a hush puppy batter, but a little fluffier.
That sounds remarkable.
Thank you.
You recently added a hotel function. You opened up, 11 rooms?
Yeah.
So how does it change your role as executive chef to kind of be doing room service breakfast now?
It's been interesting. It's definitely a little bit of a learning curve.
Well, tell me about that.
Truly, it's been a good experience. It's a little more complex operationally, just because you have in-guests coming to the host stand and you have regular guests to sit at the restaurant coming to the host stand. But every in-guest that we've had has been enjoyed. It's just what we do.
So what do you do for breakfast? What are you making that I would go, oh, I got to have that?
We do a pretty simple in breakfast. A little fruits, fresh cut daily. We do a fresh croissant. We do a soft boiled egg. So it's like just jelly, a little fig jam, and some whipped butter. A very simple breakfast. And then obviously we have coffee service and all the usual suspects as well.
We also do a brunch, which seems like more than simple service. I mean, you've got cornflake fried chicken and waffle.
Yes, correct.
How do you do that?
Well, we make a cornflake dredge. We marinate our chicken in a tangy buttermilk marinade with pickle juice and sambal, and we double bread it, wet, dry. It's organic chicken tenders with the same breading on it. And then the cornbread waffle is just a cornmeal-based waffle, cayenne honey. We make our own orange vinegar in-house, add honey to that, cayenne to that, whip our butter. We have a rosemary gravy. It's delicious.
Sounds fantastic.
Serve it with a little spray of rosemary. We used to light it on fire, actually, but it's a little too much.
A little too dangerous.
Yeah. Can't be given servers, lighters.
New Orleans, to state the obvious, is a tourist town.
Right.
Beyond the fact that you have 11 guest rooms, are you serving a local population? Are you serving the tourist population? Who are your customers?
I have both. It's like I walk out of my house and my neighbor is like, oh, I went to your restaurant the other day. It was a great time. And I'm like, oh, you went to I work there? Like you have the local people that just kind of like let you know, which is a beautiful thing. That was kind of like a side bonus I didn't know was coming. And then you do have the tourists, and usually you find out that they came in because of their reviews, or they let you know when they're here. So I would say we have both.
How concerned are you? I mean, tourism nationally has taken a hit from the political situation.
Right.
People from other countries, some are concerned to be here these days. The economy, the added costs that are being seen through tariffs. How worried are you? Because look, you're a low margin business. Are there red flags?
It is concerning, especially seeing like the new price sheets coming from some of our purveyors, especially our paper goods for some reason.
They probably come from China. Industry folks have told me the packaging, a lot of the packaging stuff comes from China, which is now 50% tariffs. So
Right.
you're seeing increasing prices.
Definitely.
Are you going to have to change what you're serving?
It's possible. I mean, if it doesn't make sense for the business, we can't keep serving it. We have to be flexible with what's going on in the market.
Do you have plans for the future? You're going to go in a new direction? What's ahead for you?
Our plans are to plan ahead and be aware, but try to still do what our intended goals would be. So our goals for this coming year are to become a greener company. And that's what we're going to be focusing on internally, as well as making good food and doing all the normal things that we normally do. That's where my mind goes. And then I also am going to continue to focus on being more community oriented with places like Cafe Reconcile, which is a program that helps people gain skills for job interviewing, working in kitchens, so that they have an outlet, a place to improve their skills.
Any culinary goals?
Yeah, of course. Always.
Like what? Tell me, what are your culinary plans for the short term?
Oh, culinary plans for the short term for this week has been to launch a new menu at Fulton Alley, which is the concept under our same company. It's down by Caesar's Casino. It's a sister restaurant.
What's your role with that?
I consulted on their menu, and then they were like, well, we like all the things you said. Can you make it happen? And so I worked with their team, made a bunch of recipes for them, and then we just launched 23 new items 4 days ago.
How's it going?
It's been good. It's been good. They did a great job. So that's what I've been working on. And in the very near future, we're doing our fall menu changes for Coppervine as well.
Well, Chef, it sounds like things are at the very least busy and creative.
Yes, daily.
Let me wish you the best of luck in keeping it up.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me as well.
Amy Mehrtens on Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page, and I'll see you next time.